But in the meantime,
We're good to go. You ready to go?
Ready. We're ready to go. We're gonna start on different.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Call the Jamestown City Council work session for Monday, August 4th to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Sheldon, Brackman,
Here.
Paternity,
Here.
Reynolds, Faulkner,
Here.
Bonfiglio, Diversa,
Here.
Russell,
Here.
and President Wilson.
Here, thank you. We do have a group that's going to do a presentation. Would you
Yep.
like to introduce them?
Absolutely. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Eileen Maku. I'm the Economic Development Coordinator with the Department of Development here. And today we have the Workforce Development at JCC and the Builders Exchange of the Southern Tier here to do a quick presentation, just kind of some updates on their programming and the way that they've been using their ARPA funds to build their programs. So we've got Daryl Dancott, Shannon Reno, Grant Umberger, and John Wood. So I'm gonna duck up here and click through some slides. Guys, if you wanna kind of make your way up.
So just want to thank everybody for having us come in today. I'm John Gilly with the Builders Exchange of the Southern Tier. We started this, we signed our contract with the city for this program about 2 years ago, August of 2023. So it's time to come back, give you guys a quick update on our progress. I wasn't sure how we were gonna put together a workforce program in a couple of years, but we have some great partners with Daryl and Shannon and Grant, and it's, we're excited about it. It's been a really good start, so I'll give you a brief update. So on the, to share, we have two separate programs. One at the high school level with Jamestown Public Schools, which Daryl runs, and Pauline and Laura, and then JCC with Shannon in their workforce. So we got these two separate programs, the high school programs, juniors, seniors, and then JCC's can be high school all the way up to adults, whoever is looking to learn skilled trades. So some of our industry partners, we're real happy with the teachers we have and the partnerships we've formed that are coming into teaching. Mayshark Builders, Empire Development, Central Nations, United Refining, Shelport, and Jamestown Public School Southwestern, several of our members, and we have a real strong teaching side of things, and it's gone real well. Next.
Okay, that's me. Hi. All of our instructors that John mentioned, so we have 9 instructors that are teaching at the college level. They all come from industry, which is great. They can talk the talk and walk the walk. So we use NCCER curriculum, which is a national curriculum, and we cover a lot of different units. So this is for students who may not want to go into college yet, don't know what they want to do. This exposes them to a lot of different areas in construction. So these are some that are listed here. We got HVAC, plumbing, electrical. They'll also get their OSHA 10. This is all geared towards workforce. So students will go through the program and then they're gonna enter right into the workforce. We also teach them job-ready soft skills, which are extremely important for them to get that job. A lot of the employers that we work with and that are teaching are also looking to hire students that go through this program. And then we added a couple things for fall. So we also do masonry, exterior finishing. This is an image here, so students are getting practical hands-on the job training. They're building sheds, which is pretty cool. And we're hoping at some point maybe to evolve towards tiny homes. So this, you can see them building here, and then some pub tables down here. And they're really coming out of this getting a better understanding of what it is that they want to do in the workforce.
It's a free apprenticeship, really introductory to construction, hoping they find their interest in a skill, and then we help them go either with an employer or join our union apprentice program. So.
Yeah, and they're learning what they like, but what they don't like. Some of our students have said, you know what, I don't like masonry, but I like electrical. So that's another thing that we're excited that they're learning from it.
On the JHS side of it, when we first started off with Builders
exchange. We've had the opportunity to run 2 different cohorts through, and at this point, we've had 18 students that have made it through the 2 cohorts. 6 of them are pursuing things further in the trade, so kind of roughly a third of our students continue on to that. We feel like that's been a really successful endeavor. And looking at the class sizes coming into this next spring for the spring semester, looking to add another 12 students into it, and again, kind of stay on that same trend. We cover about half of the topics of what we saw there from the NCCR at the high school level, starting in with the core and basic, and then getting into a lot more of the structural, foundational, and a little bit of hit on the skills trade, but we've actually had a couple students have continued from the high school section, and they're looking to either have already taken advantage of the JCC workforce development, or are planning to this next time around.
And then on the college level, so we piloted the program this past spring. We had 7 students that were enrolled, actually 6, and then we had one that we acquired into the program. But we had some good success, some things that we've learned along the way, and some tweaks that we're gonna make for the fall programming, which starts in September. But we had a company actually send their employees, a couple of their employees through to learn some skills. And then we had a couple that are they're working in the trades already. One of them is enrolling at JCC in our independent study academic program. She wants to be an architect, and her and her mom both called with raving reviews about this program, and it's really helped her with paving the direction for her future. And then, so we started recruiting for the fall. If you yourself or anybody that you know is interested in pursuing this construction technology, thanks to generous grant funding, it is a very affordable program. We provide all the equipment, tooling. Please share the word so that we have students registered for the program and they can benefit from it. We have 12 student capacity, and we're expecting that to fill up.
We also provide OSHA 10 training as part of the class. All the students that have gone through the 24 have got their OSHA 10 certification as construction specific. And I do have information here that I'll leave at the table for you, so please take a few.
Oh, that's me. So like I mentioned, we piloted it for the spring. We did make some changes for the fall just because we noticed it was a little heavy on some of the classroom instruction. So we'd like it to be a little bit more hands-on, so we kind of restructured the formatting of how that will look, reduced it a little bit. So our new program will start September 16th. And then we're also utilizing our Brightspace technology, which is what JCC uses for our online learning platform. So that'll help with the transition. We have 9 instructors, so you imagine throughout, it'll just help with an easier transition as we're going through the different modules.
And then the JHS section will start up again in January with our third cohort. And one of the reasons too for moving to the change in format for the JCC is to try and make it less of a commitment to being there physical space, allow more kind of online learning outside of classroom, so it's a little more adaptable for people with less flexibility in schedules. So we kind of use that through the JHS model, and now we're going to incorporate that with the JCC model as well.
And then looking towards the future, we still have grant funding from a Harper grant from the city, thank you, and that's gonna carry us to the end of that grant time, and then we're in the process of evaluating, looking at grants in the future to continue to hopefully provide workforce development training, keep these programs going, and the entry cost to be a part of it low for the participants. So we're looking at a couple different options to potentially even, if we could find a building or put up a little building of our own where we have more space to build bigger wall systems and roofs, that kind of thing. But we'll see where that all goes. But right now, we're thrilled to have 2 programs at the community college level and the high school level, and students enrolled, and great instructors, and the teamwork on it. So thanks to the city for getting us all started.
Yeah, it's been a great program. I'm super excited to be a part of it. We always hear there's a shortage of people in the trades, that we need recruitment. We always need a plumber and electrician. So we definitely need training like this to continue. So we really appreciate you spreading the word and helping us with recruitment for this.
Any questions?
Did you finish the shed up at Strider?
In the works. That's where it started.
Are you reaching out to local industries for their apprenticeship programs to see exactly what they're in need of? I work for one, so I know that we have an apprenticeship program. I'm sure Cummins does, and other industries have electricians, millwrights, plumbers, whatever. So, is that being done?
Paul and DeWar is really taking a lead on reaching out to lots of the local
Okay.
companies. We'd be happy to stop by.
Yeah, our first class, we're actually having some local employers come in and do like an orientation. So if you also have a business or know somebody who has a business that is looking to hire or potentially teach at some point, we would invite them to come as well. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good work, keep it up. All right. Move on to, need some help? When you're not, you know, tearing them down to rebuild.
I keep it going. Thank you. Yeah. They could use it all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very good, thanks, guys. Okay, we'll move on. At this time, we'll open it up for any of the people here that would like to speak to the council. Please leave your name and address and limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to speak to the council? Well, people all spoke beforehand, so, okay, we'll move on. We did not have, let's see, we'll go to housing first, because we did have a housing meeting. So, Regina, you wanna give a little brief update of what we discussed in housing?
And I know it kind of spilled over into safety from what I'm hearing. Basically, it's several residents from the Fulton Street area, at the meeting tonight, just everything that's going on as far as condemned property, people trespassing, just, very unsafe behavior from residents or trespassing or doing lewd things, on people's property, and, it's just really affecting their quality of life. And, you know, just was trying to understand, they called, the police and, really are just looking to see for some things to happen, you know. They don't wanna let their kids out play. They're talking about drug activity, drug paraphernalia in their yards, people just trespassing in their yards. So, I mean, we're hearing a lot about, that area of the city, Fulton Street, whether it's from Fulton to Strong or from Fulton and 8. It just seems to be a very, an area in the city that needs some attention. We also heard from a resident on Lafayette Street in regards to the zoning changes. Just her concern that it is a very heavy residential area, and just concerned about the fact of commercial properties being put up in that residential area. So, in case if she wants to speak more on it, look at that line of zoning, you know, do we not make that line of, that change from Lafayette and Jefferson Street, and it, starts maybe at Clinton or Monroe or somewhere where it's not a residential area. So just a lot of concern with that. That one resident seemed to be, satisfied with the responses that she received, but just need to look at that. What else did we talk about? We also talked about, a property on Palmer and, Highland. It's just got overgrown shrub, the roof's condemned, collapsing. It is condemned, I believe, but we cannot demo it due to historic requirements from SHPO. So, we're gonna look at that, check with the land bank, see if there's something they can do to assist with the overgrown shrubs. It's a safety hazard because they're growing into the sidewalk, and it is by the school area up by Lincoln, so, we need to just watch out for that. But I think the big thing that came, and again, it's probably gonna come out in the public safety, is just the condition, of the area of Fulton and H Street in general in the city of Jamestown. And that's all I have.
Any questions? All right, thanks. We'll move on. We did not have a finance committee meeting tonight. Public safety, I know you didn't get your resolution and your agenda, so you can do that here, but, you know, that's important, I wanna give Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, Regina kind of hit the nail on the head. It seems like the area down on Fulton and 8th, Prendergast, we had employees from Stell show up to speak with us. They're concerned about the safety. We had a mother here that was concerned about not allowing, doesn't want her child outside. So it just seems like that area is an epicenter of issues going on, from drug use to detention of weapons to drug paraphernalia, basically everything that Regina said. There was some discussion about maybe some better lighting or foliage that down on like an American Place. So I'm gonna look into that, about maybe getting some shrubs and stuff cut back, trying to clean areas up. So people have less areas to hide in or creep around in at night in the dark. What's going on? I mean, I completely understand their frustration. It just sounds like there's a plethora of activity down there that needs to be addressed. I feel for the men and women of the Jamestown Police Department. I've spoken to them at length about how frustrated they are. And I hate to keep beating the drum of the New York State bail reform, and our governor and the Democrat-controlled legislators refuse to repeal or replace or change the New York State bail reform. And these quality of life issues that we're seeing in this area, in my personal opinion, are a direct result of that ineptness that's going on with the bail reform, and how they just flat out refuse to at least amend some areas of it, allowing the police to have a little more teeth back to deal with some of these issues going on. A lot of these issues that are spoken about are non-custodial arrests, meaning the officers are not allowed to go there, put someone in handcuffs, drive them to the police station, lock them up for the night, and set bail on them. They have to issue an appearance ticket and drive away. And that doesn't necessarily fix the problem, the immediate problem right there. Person takes their appearance ticket, they go about their way, and the police leave, and the problems persist. So that's a major issue, and I think we're seeing the fallout from the New York State bail reform when it comes to these quality of life issues. So although we're small down here on the local level, I can't stress enough that our governor and the legislators need to repeal some of this bail stuff to give the teeth back to the police department. On that note, I did want to share some statistics. I thank Chief Jackson for these. He had sent these to me a while ago. Council can see these if they want after the meeting. I also mailed copies of these to a member on Fulton Street that wanted them. From January 1st of 2025 to June 9th, 2025, there was a total of 126 total police calls to the area of Fulton Street. That's a period of 159 days. The police have been down in that area 126 times. So I know we've heard a lot, this council's heard a lot about, from members of the community down there that they feel like the police aren't responding or doing anything. I mean, stats show that the police are going down there and at least talking to people, addressing them. I did mail these to someone that lives down there. I redacted names and complainants' names, just, it was not foiled, and I didn't want to create any more animosity among neighbors for them to see complainants and victims' information on there. So that is just mind-boggling that in 6 months, the police have been down there 126 total times. Very frustrating for them. A lot of it is quality of life stuff, and frankly, some of it is, on these calls, it's just people can't get along. They don't know how to be neighbors. It's the same names that were coming up that I saw, the same 4 or 5 addresses were on here, and then obviously some of the issues that we spoke about tonight. So that's on that, and like President Dolt said, as a result of the sheer number of people that showed up, we weren't able to get through our stuff. So the first item, obviously, is the zoning, conversation about the zoning. So I'll open that up for any kind of discussion for Casey or anyone else that wants to talk about the possible zoning changes.
For the area around Jackson Taylor?
Yes.
We had a resident bring up a really good point, as Regina mentioned, that a lot of those side streets, are still highly, used as residential homes. We are considering moving that line back. The C1 area is not, it doesn't allow large businesses, it wouldn't allow the expansion of scrap yards or, like car dealerships and that kind of thing. It's small scale, similar to what is down there and currently vacant, closed office space. In your agenda packets, our city planner, Jason, has created a proposal page for all of you to look at. It'll break down the areas that will be impacted. It shows existing businesses that either are open and in operation or just vacant commercial spaces. They're all starred on that map. And we're hoping that activating that space will reduce any existing crime and persistent trespassing throughout those areas. Did you have any specific questions?
So you stated that the scrapyard down there or any of the car dealerships, they would not, if this zoning changed, they would not be able to gobble up property around them and further encroach on the residences, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's not an allowable use of space under a commercial neighborhood.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot
You're
because,
okay.
because Crystal's not here, but can you share with this council, do you wanna see this, is there a vision that you have in the Department of Development of what you wanna do down there? I mean,
Yeah.
there must be a reason of why you want this change, and I've already told Crystal that I agree with, there's a lot of buildings and area down there that's wasted at this point and not being utilized.
That's pretty much, the driving factor. There's a lot of empty, vacant, commercial spaces in a residential zoned area. So no one can use the, space as intended, unless they go to the zoning board of appeals, to bypass the residential requirement. So any business that goes in and wants to open something, they have to go to ZBA, for a use variance.
So I'm assuming that those businesses at one time had been grandfathered.
Grandfathered, yeah, so they were likely existing before it was changed to an R2, or they went for,
Appeal.
yep. Like I said, in the packet, you'll see there's more, like commercial space in the area proposed than there is residential, other than, like those little side streets there. But that is the main reason, is to reactivate that space with a commercial use. The reason we decided on neighborhood commercial is because the businesses are small scale, so it is not, having car repair shops next to the river. It's more like places like bike rentals, something that would support the park, small cafes. If it's like enclosed retail, you can have a coffee shop. So it's not the same as commercial, manufacturing by any means. It is like mom and pops, like think of Crown Street or Dots or that kind of thing. Enclosed spaces or, office space can be down there, single, chair barbers, that kind of thing. But something that would support the park area and the neighborhood, that is adjacent to that space that is our end goal.
It's fair to say that your team, I mean, you guys love the river walk down there. You like the waterfront down there, and you're not going to allow something down there that's gonna jeopardize all that down
Yeah,
there.
absolutely, yeah.
So,
We are working on cleaning up brownfields. Crystal's out right now at a brownfield conference, she's speaking at one in Chicago, so, I think one of our big focuses is making sure that we don't create more of those environmental hazards, and when we do, work on development, it is in a environmentally safe way. We don't wanna disturb the river. We have worked so hard to get it clean, and stable. We definitely don't wanna put any pollutants over there. So there's not going to be like battery manufacturing or that kind of storage over there either.
Will there be a review process involved if it were to come to fruition that zone change would take effect prior to somebody starting up a business? Would there be a review board that says, this is what you can do and this is what you can't, similar to a zoning board?
We kind of do that now, as it is, because not all businesses are able to operate in certain zones. So, people usually just come in and meet with our staff independently. That's why we got Eiley here, and she can work with Kenny and Larry when he comes in to go over the different zoning requirements. And, if a business in the city would require a use variance, then we could assist them in applying for that. But there is a process in place for that now.
Okay.
The biggest concern, I think, at the meeting from the resident was that area more to the east was more residential, but as you mentioned, if you considered moving the line further
Yeah, like
west.
2 blocks.
2 blocks, because after that, was it Clinton, from
Yeah.
Clinton over, there's very little, if any, residents there, and that's where the area where you have a lot of those abandoned, small shops and so forth, that are kind of an eyesore. Over that, probably by the yard waste, that area, close to that. So over towards the park, over towards Lafayette, where the homes are, that was the biggest concern.
And as it stands, the soil conditions over there don't really allow for new builds. So the things that are there, that are structurally sound, we'd like to repurpose. So like the idea of putting housing over there is not really feasible. It won't last very long. It's near the water table, it's in the flood zone, that kind of thing. So we have to be kind of particular about what goes over there.
okay, does anyone else have any questions? That was one of our resolutions under public safety. Any other questions, regarding the zoning?
Do you have to pass?
Yeah.
Do you have to,
Had a
just the
motion-
two of you? Okay.
Motion for, resolution on the zoning amendment.
In regard to them changing the lines, yes, but unless that happens, I would motion to table till that's officially in writing. Can we do that?
I can have it updated and sent over to you tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll table it until those
So
amendments are
Put it,
made.
we'll put it back on
Okay,
for the next work session.
In 2 weeks.
We'll put it on the agenda.
okay, basically, pulling those lines back away from the residential neighborhood.
Yeah, there's 2 side streets coming off
Okay.
of 8th Street that, still are lined on both sides of the street with
Okay.
active residential spaces, so we're just gonna move over to Clinton, and then back to Isabella,
Sure.
is what it is.
Okay, perfect, thank
And
you.
I do think though that there are residents on the upper half of Clinton, if you look at Clinton from, so, I mean, so you might have to be a little careful on the Clinton.
Yeah, there's
make
a
sure that-
strip that's there that
Okay.
is existing R2.
Okay.
That was the only resolution we had for public safety, and we had a number of block party informational reports. The first one was for a block party. This was tabled at the July 14th meeting. It was Cook to Lakin Avenue on August 9th, 2025, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., and that was gonna be blocking off Third Street to all traffic. I think there was either a letter or phone call made to the Angels on this with our concern about it being blocked off. There was no response back. We discussed that we would approve this with the change in language that Third Street cannot be shut down. They're gonna have to pick a side street. But we cannot close down a major thoroughfare like Third Street. So we, I guess I'll ask for an amendment to, on the language on that.
Yeah, motion to amend that language reflecting that Third Street not be allowed to be blocked off in entirety for it all.
So either Cook or Lakin
Right.
is acceptable.
Okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Pending that change in language. The second one was for a block party from 14th Street, 14th Street from Main Street to Washington Street on August 16th from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. And all the appropriate paperwork was done and approvals on that. So, a motion on that?
Motion to approve that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. The third one was for a block party, on West 12th Street from Main Street to Washington Street on August 16th, 2025, from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. Same thing, the paperwork was in order and was signed off on. So,
Motion to approve that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. And the next one was an annual event, I believe, on Hunter Street from Loretta to Wildwood. Block party on August 24th, 2025, the rain date of August 30th, 2025, from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m.
Motion approved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries.
That's Tom Nelson's part.
Yes, that's the same. And, the next one, block party, Pine Street, to be closed off from 2nd to 3rd in front of the skate shop on October 11th, 2025, from 2 p.m. until 11 p.m. This is actually for a wedding of a business owner down there who's gonna get married at his business. Mr. Shira, congratulations. But there was a question on, alcohol being involved and the street. I think he's getting married actually he's gonna be in the building. But my concern was, and I brought up, was, people coming and going, and if alcohol was gonna be out on the street. Mr. Pavaniti was gonna have a conversation with Mr. Shira and, try to find out how that was going to work.
Right.
Obviously, if it stays in his building, that's a non-issue, but if it comes out on the street, then it's an issue. So, as a result of that, we ended up tabling that for further discussion and clarification on the alcohol issue. So, And the next one was for the 44th Annual Jamestown, New York Labor Day Festival, to be held on Sunday, August 31st, 2025, at Bergman Park, from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m., including setup and tear down, and there will be fireworks being set off at dusk.
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. And we did have one, another block party grant that was given to us. It's an annual one, 66 Fairfield Avenue, for August 16th, 2025, to August 17th is the rain date. That's gonna be from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Like I said, it's an annual thing. And, don't think we've ever had any issues down there. So, looks like they have some yard sales going on in the block party.
And that's the 16th, yeah, so that's.
Yes, and a rain date of the
17.
17th.
Motion to approve that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That's it?
Okay, thank you. A lot of work. You guys had me. Public Works, Randy, I know you just had the one item there.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. There was no members of the public that attended our meeting, but there, Mr. Joe Town, who owns Pace's Pizza, and he could not attend the meeting because he is out of state. And he has informed us that, including the city of Jamestown, that he would like free parking out in front of his business on Third Street at Pace's Pizza. And before we could really discuss this anymore, he's gonna have to make a formal request to the city, which as of today, that he is not. So we are awaiting a formal request by him, and at that point, we will have a full discussion about what is gonna be feasible or allowable in 2 parking spots in front of his business. So we did talk about that, so that is tabled until we get a formal request by Mr. Town. The other thing we did talk about briefly, as spoken before in housing, was the property at Palmer and Highland. It was, a few of us councilmen have viewed that property over there, and there's trees and shrubs that have overgrown the sidewalk to the point where the sidewalk is unusable. And what we're gonna do, the land bank has been notified, who owns the building, to please cut and rebate that back so the sidewalk can be used. So they probably will do it. If not, we'll discuss it further after that. But that was discussed over there. Councilman Paterniti has brought it to our attention and was nice enough to send us pictures so we could see, and the condition of the building. The house is bad, and as Joe said earlier, there is a problem with SHPA to get that house raised or tore down. So, other than that, those are the 2 items that were discussed in our committee.
I just have a quick question. The parking over on Third Street, Joe sent all of us a letter outlining exactly what he would like to see there. Is that not enough of a formal request? What does he actually have to do? Like,
According to
Talk
Elliot
to Elliot.
and Mark,
I would just like to pass him the information so he knows what he needs to do.
that was not good enough. According to Elliot and Mark, Elliot. I didn't see it.
To the city clerk.
Right.
Formal request of what he would like. I do know he has mentioned that, there was some confusion as far as the email, whether or not it was, to our parking, it was free or a loading unloading zone.
Yeah,
question I had, I thought he was looking for the one spot
Yeah,
for loading and unloading.
same here.
Right.
I talked to him a little bit earlier, it sounds like that spot where his parklet blocks the driveway that used to go down, so it's not a driveway anymore, he'd like that to be loading and unloading, but then there's other businesses downtown that have the 2-hour parking spots, so I'm not saying it's two separate things, but he would like the 2-hour, or the loading and unloading, and then maybe some like 2-hour spots. But I'll get with Elliot and get him all the information that he would need for what he needs to do.
Yeah, there's only 2-hour free parking spots within the zone, central.
The central
Zone,
business
zone.
district zone,
So
which
there's
is
none down there.
Which is
No.
North Main and Third, to
Right.
a certain
Right,
point.
right.
Right, yeah. And then he found out that he has a driveway easement that he is privy to, and the city has recognized that, and today they have painted hash marks in front of that. So that really is not a parking spot that we have recognized, right, Mark? Or-
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so that is not an official parking spot. And it's just an easement that he could use for a second or drive up on, or, but no parking.
So it was painted?
Yeah, so there's a section next to his building that used to be a driveway,
Right.
two back. It's no longer a driveway, so when it was a driveway, you obviously couldn't park there. It was never painted as a spot, there's no meters.
Right.
There's meters on either side of them.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, apparently he received some tickets. After that, we became aware that they were parking there, it's not a parking spot, it's not metered. So we put hash marks to show that it's not a parking spot.
Correct.
So does he have the right to park there? I mean, is it a public highway?
It's between two metered parking spots.
Is it a public highway?
It's on Third Street.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy's saying easement, but he's really talking about his old driveway approach.
So would it be correct to say that would be the beginning or the throat of his old driveway?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, the apron, where the apron of his driveway was.
Okay.
So that got lines painted on and nobody can park there ever now?
Correct.
I guess the question I would have is it creating a hazard by having a parking spot there if there's no driveway? Why can't there be a spot there?
The pictures he included, it looked like a spot.
There was a
It looked
line.
like a spot
I mean,
and
there
everything.
can be, but that involves putting in a meter post, putting in a meter, just like all the other spots around it. We wouldn't just have a blank spot with no meters and no signage indicating that, it was never painted as a parking spot.
Were the lines in the picture, the spot before and behind it, if it's in
It's hard to
between
tell
two
from the-
spots?
If you look at the picture, the spots are just squared, and this one is also squared. Like it looks, like I would have parked there. It looks
But there's
like
no
a spot.
street, there's no street side line. I don't believe.
Was it one street?
I have to look at I didn't from the picture, it was kind of vague.
I didn't get the email, so
I didn't either.
And there is definitely a street side line in the picture he sent.
I'd have to look at it again.
Oh, sorry, I moved, but would it be possible to do like a 15-minute unloading spot there, or?
I mean, it is, once we have what he's actually requesting,
Okay.
maybe. Until I know what he's asking for, we don't know what we would put there.
Okay.
That looks like a parking spot.
Yeah, I would 100% park there.
Even though there's no meter there, there's definitely a line behind.
Yeah, DPW painted it today.
Well, no, before that, the street side line and everything.
Oh,
It's been there.
yeah.
Okay. And how many spots total are there? How many spots are in front?
Two in front of
There's two in
Paces.
front of Paces, and
Two
then
in front
there's
of Paces.
a bunch headed towards.
Right. Then
in
there's
front of the
more
insurance
in
company.
front of Panache.
So he wants all free there?
We don't know.
No, he
don't know.
hasn't said, but we assumed he wanted it two in front. Free parking for a period of time.
Yeah, I can
It
see
does
that.
not.
Well, there's nowhere to drive there.
It's very conflicting because there still is an apron there.
Well, we'll wait to see
Yeah, let's
exactly how
let's
it
hear
is.
from his request. Yes.
All right, thank you. Anything
Okay,
else?
that's it.
Do you have anything today?
I do. I just wanted to remind everybody that the BPU will be here for a presentation at the next meeting,
2 weeks.
or 2 weeks from tonight on 8/18. Couple things related to budgets. Obviously, we're starting, we never really get out of budget season, but we're starting to talk about next year's budget. Just Erica put together a timeline today, planned rough estimate for everybody in the department heads. We'll get that to you once they say yay, nay, impossible, possible, whatever. But following the same protocols in the past weekly meetings, timing. The one thing that we're waiting to hear on from finance is sales tax has not come in for the second quarter yet. All Erica's speculation and digging into numbers and indications believe that we should be okay, should be able to meet the second quarter budget. But until we get that in writing, we'll share that as soon as we get it, so we're waiting for that. And I also do wanna remind everybody that this is the crazy few weeks of events downtown between Gus Macker, Lucy Fest, followed by the World Series, car show, all those crazy things, so,
Labor Day?
a lot of those happen before you meet again, so just remember to try to get to some of those downtown. Elliot has nothing for executive session,
Nothing.
so we are all good as far as I'm
You
concerned.
have something?
I have something I'd like Elliot and Chief Jackson under executive session.
I know, but
Under what?
Yes,
under what
litigation.
potential?
Potential.
Yep.
Do you have a motion to go into executive session? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're in executive session.